Hello everyone and welcome to In the Cosmos from the De Anza College Planetarium. My name is Toshi Komatsu and I'm your host and the director of the planetarium. This episode is your overview of the August 2020 skies. We'll highlight some seasonal constellations and talk about the Perseid meteor shower. So without any further ado, let's go. Stellarium here is simulating the western sky on August 15th. It's 9:30 p.m. local daylight time. At the beginning of the month, this will more closely match the 10:30 p.m. sky, and at the end of the month, the 8:30 p.m. sky. Now, the springtime constellations, Boötes and Virgo, are getting low in the west, so remember you can still find them by looking for their bright stars. You can see Arcturus here and Spica. Those are the brightest stars in those constellations. And if you find the Big Dipper, which is made of these 7 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, that's part of the constellation of Ursa Major. The Big Dipper is just part of it, but you can follow the arc of the Big Dipper, the arc to Arcturus, and then you can speed on to Spica, and that'll give you an idea of where those two constellations are. If we look up a little bit higher here, let's go ahead and we'll fade these off here for the moment. Or if we go a little bit higher in the sky, that's where we can find the summer triangle. Now, we've talked about it before, but it's always worth pointing out. This time of year, mid-August, it's almost directly overhead as we get to sunset here. So we've got Vega, Deneb, and Altair as the stars of this triangle. So those are the 3 corners. 2 of these stars are, 2 of these sides are almost the same length, making it a very nice isosceles triangle. And these 3 stars are among the 20 brightest stars in the whole sky here. So if you find Vega, then hopefully you can also find the parallelogram there in Lyra the Harp. And then with Deneb, you can see the cross shape of Cygnus the Swan. And with Altair, there's 2 other stars that sort of flank Altair. And the rest of Aquila the Eagle kind of faint there. But you can find those 3 constellations in the sky easiest by finding those 3 bright stars, Vega, Deneb, and Altair. Now, if you take a look towards the south now, so we'll make our way towards the back to the horizon, and we are looking south. We can find 2 of my favorite constellations in the whole sky here. One of them is the constellation of Scorpius, and that's found easiest by looking for Antares, which is a red supergiant star. So that makes up Scorpius the Scorpion here, and that looks a little something like this with the artwork there. And if you look just to the left or the east of Scorpius, that's where you find Sagittarius the Archer here. And you can see with the artwork that there's a centaur, half man, half horse. He's got a bow and arrow there, and he's aiming right for the scorpion. And according to legend, Sagittarius there is making sure that no harm comes to anyone from the scorpion. So he's got his bow and arrow aimed right at the scorpion for all time. Now, Sagittarius is most known for the teapot shape here. So let me sort of swing over and zoom in actually a little bit here as well so that we can see. There's the body of the teapot right over here. This is sort of an old-timey teapot here. The body here with the handle off to the left, and then we've got the spout over here on the right, and then we've got the very nice lid here. And if you get to a dark sky site, the Milky Way seems to be rising like steam right out of the spot of the constellation of Sagittarius there. Now, at the moment, we also, within the area of Sagittarius, we have 2 planets that are visible. Those are the planets Jupiter and Saturn here. So go ahead and center on those. They're rising as a pair just after sunset, so you can look in the southeast to find 2 planets, the 2 biggest, and among the 2 brightest planets. Venus is actually brighter, but Venus is a morning star or a morning planet right now. But you can find Jupiter and Saturn rising in the southeast just as the sun is setting. Now, the last constellation I'd like to share with you here is a constellation known as Pegasus. And that we're finding over in the eastern part of the sky. So I'm going to pan over towards the east, and it's coming up almost exactly right in the east. Pegasus, you want to look for this square, and it's sort of the first of the autumn constellations here. So here's Pegasus. Back out a little bit so we can see more of it. Pegasus is quite a large constellation. If you know your mythology, then you know that Pegasus was the flying horse. So you can see the flying horse Pegasus rising over in the east this time of year. And as we head into the fall, Pegasus will get higher up in the sky. But the easiest thing to look for is this diamond shape, sometimes referred to as the Great Square of Pegasus. The big highlight for August is the Perseid meteor shower. Now, you don't need any special equipment to watch a meteor shower. In fact, just using your eyes is best, because meteors can appear in any part of the sky. So you want to be scanning the whole sky so that you can find these meteors in the sky. The best advice really is to get a lawn chair or something where you can lay out and just look up. Now this year, the Perseids are peaking on the night of August 11th into the morning of August 12th. We're looking at the sky here just after midnight, 12:30. Just be careful, because on the morning of the 12th at 12:30, that's about the time that the sun is going to be rising, or not the sun, the moon will be rising. So that'll limit some of the fainter meteors. Now, under ideal dark sky conditions, you might see up to 100 meteors per hour. But depending on exactly where you are and where you're looking from and how dark the sky is, you might actually only see 40 to 50 meteors per hour, which is still not bad. That's about 1 meteor every minute or two. I've made it a little bit more dramatic here so that we can see a few more meteors streaking by here. Now, if you trace the meteors' trails back, the Perseids appear to come from this spot in the sky. That's called the Radiant, and that's near the constellation of Perseus the hero and Cassiopeia the queen. So these are some other meteors that are coming by here. But again, if you trace the trails, they'll look like they're all coming from this one spot towards the Perseus radiant point here. Now, although this isn't the most active shower of the year, it is one of the most popular for those of us in the northern hemisphere. And that's because it's August, and it means that the nights are generally warm. And so it's easier to see nice stretch of sky outside. Well, here is a photo taken from Joshua Tree National Park to give you a taste of what the Perseids would look like from a dark sky site. You can see here the beautiful Milky Way stretching almost vertically here, and then you've got a Perseid streaking across the sky here. So imagine what it might look like for you if you could get to a truly dark sky site where you'd be surrounded by all these stars and then have a meteor streaking by every minute or so in the sky. So truly something that everyone should check out if you ever get the chance. Well, that's it for this edition of In the Cosmos. Hopefully you enjoyed that and learned a little something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and be sure to click the bell to get a notification every time we post a new video. You can find out more about our planetarium on our website, and we are all over social media for more astronomical goodness. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do check out the links in the description below. Until next time, thank you for checking in. Here's wishing you clear, dark skies. And until next time, this is the De Anza College Planetarium, signing off.